This is the story of Linda, a kind and gentle woman who had only one child, a son named Joe. Linda was a widow. Her husband had passed away many years ago, leaving behind a small mud hut for her and Joe to live in. Life was not easy for them, but their love for each other made things a little better. Linda and Joe shared a strong and special bond. Wherever you saw Linda, you would also see Joe. They were always together, laughing, talking, and sharing stories. Joe loved his mother more than anything in the world, and Linda felt the same about him. She held on to him tightly, not just because he was her only son, but because he was her joy, her strength, and her reason to smile. Even though they lived in deep poverty, Joe never let his mother feel the weight of their struggles. He worked very hard on other people's farms from morning till night, doing all kinds of labor just to earn a little money. The pay was small, but Joe used every bit of it to take care of his mother. He made sure she never lacked food, clothes, or anything she needed. Joe knew his mother had high blood pressure, so he made it his mission to keep her happy and healthy. He would buy fresh fruits for her, even if it meant spending his last coin. He believed that if she ate well and smiled often, she would stay strong. Every evening, after his long day at work, Joe would come home and sit beside his mother. They would laugh, gist, and tell funny stories. Joe would crack jokes just to hear his mother laugh. Her laughter was like music to his ears, and he never got tired of hearing it. Those moments were the best part of their day. Though their house was small and their lives were simple, their hearts were full of love. They didn't have much, but they had each other, and that was more valuable than gold. Joe always said, "As long as I live, Mama will never suffer." And he meant every word. One peaceful evening after finishing their dinner, Linda and Joe sat outside their little mud hut. The air was calm, and the stars were beginning to appear in the sky. Joe had just returned from a long day working on the farm, and now it was their special time. Just the two of them, sitting side by side, sharing stories like they always did. Linda looked at her son lovingly. Her heart was full of pride, but also concern. She knew Joe was growing into a strong and handsome young man. She also knew that one day he would start thinking about marriage. So, she decided it was time to talk to him. "My son," Linda began gently, "there is something I want to tell you. Please, listen to me carefully." Joe turned to her, his face serious. "What is it, Mama?" Linda held his hand and said, "Please be careful with women. If you truly want to succeed in life, you must choose wisely. Marriage is not something to rush into. When a man marries the wrong woman, his life can become bitter. A wrong marriage is like a trap. It can destroy all your dreams." Joe smiled and shook his head. "Mama, marriage is not even in my mind right now," he said. "I want to focus on making money first. I want to build a better life for you. You're my priority, Mama. I want you to enjoy my money before any woman comes into the picture." Linda laughed softly, her eyes shining with love. "I know, my son. I know your heart. But still, keep my words in your mind. One day, when you're ready to marry, remember this advice. It will guide you and help you make the right choice." Joe looked at his mother with so much love in his eyes. "Thank you, Mama. I promise to remember everything you said. You are all I have. Without you, I'm nothing. In my next life, if such a thing exists, I still want you to be my mother." Linda's eyes filled with tears, not of sadness, but of deep joy. She held her son close and whispered, "And I will still love you like I do now." That night, they sat under the stars, holding each other, their hearts full of love. They had little in this world, but their bond was stronger than gold. One sunny afternoon, Joe was walking home from the farm, tired and covered in dust. His hands were rough from hard work, but his heart was full of love for his mother. As he walked along the lonely road, something surprising happened. A shiny black car stopped right beside him. A beautiful and rich-looking lady stepped out of the car. Her name was Anne. She wore expensive clothes and had gold jewelry shining on her neck and wrists. Joe was shocked that someone like her would even notice him, let alone stop to speak with him. Anne smiled and said, "Young man, I've been seeing you around. I like the way you work so hard. You're not like other young men who waste time. What's your name?" "My name is Joe," he replied, still surprised. "I live with my mother. I'm her only son." Anne nodded and said, "Can I meet your mother? I would love to know the woman who raised such a hard-working man." Joe was happy and quickly agreed. Of course, tomorrow I will show you the way to our house. The next day, Anne arrived at Joe's small mud house. She entered and sat down without even greeting anyone. Linda, Joe's mother, came outside and saw her sitting down quietly. "Good afternoon, my daughter," Linda greeted warmly. But Anne didn't respond. Linda looked at her and asked, "Don't you know how to greet an elder?" Anne frowned and stood up angrily. She looked at Joe and said, "If you truly want to be rich, slap your mother 3 times. If you do, I will write you a check worth billions. You will never suffer again." Joe froze. His heart beat faster. He looked at his mother, the woman who raised him, suffered with him, laughed with him, but then he looked at the paper in Anne's hand, the check that could change their lives forever. After a few seconds of silence, Joe said with tears in his eyes, "Mama, please forgive me. It's not me, it's poverty." Then with shaking hands, he slapped his mother, once, twice, and the 3rd time. Linda held her chin in shock and pain. She couldn't believe her own son, the one who once said, "In my next life, you will still be my mother," had just hit her for money. Anne turned to Joe and laughed coldly. "You fool," she said. "You failed the test. You raised your hand against the woman who gave you life, for money." She walked over to Linda and knelt before her. "Mama, I am sorry. I only wanted to test Joe's heart to see if he would choose money over his mother. Sadly, he failed. But you, Mama, you are the real treasure. You deserve to be honored." Anne handed Linda the check and said, "Please accept this from me. Forgive me for using such a painful test." Linda, still shocked, took the check. Her eyes were full of tears, not because of the money, but because of what her son had done. After Anne left, Joe fell to his knees and cried, "Mama, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. It was poverty that made me blind. I still love you. You are all I have." Linda looked at her son and said, "I forgive you, but never again let money make you forget the people who love you most." With the money Anne gave them, Linda and Joe got their travel documents ready. Soon after, they flew to the United States and started a new life. Linda was overjoyed. She couldn't stop thanking God for remembering them, lifting them from poverty, and showing them grace. Moral lessons. 1. Never choose money over love. Wealth can disappear, but family is forever. 2. Tested love is true love. Life will test you. Stay loyal to the ones who stood by you when you had nothing. 3. Poverty is not a reason to lose your values. Always stand for what is right, even in hard times. 4. A mother's love is priceless. Treasure her while you can. 5. God can change your story anytime. Stay humble, faithful, and kind. Thank you message. Thank you so much for watching this story. If you enjoyed it and learned something valuable, please subscribe to this channel, like, and leave a comment below. There are more powerful and touching stories coming your way, so don't miss out. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and always remember, no matter how hard life gets, never lose your values. God bless you.